Hello and welcome back. I'm Kelly, the Runaway American, and this is the European edition where I react to everything Europe, whether that be travel, places, food, culture, sports, you name it, I'm watching it. And today I will be reacting to American cities versus European cities. What's the difference? I don't know, but let's check it out. I've lived in New York, San Francisco, Budapest, just outside of Marbella, and in Lille, France. So I think I have a pretty good idea of like what the difference between the cities are, but it'll be interesting to see what another person's perspective is. Let's dive into it.
The United States and Europe both have large urban populations and deep cultural ties, but their respective cities have some distinct differences. For starters, there is a significant age gap between European and American cities.
Speaking of San Fran.
When Europeans first arrived in the Americas in the late 15th and early 16th centuries, there were as many
Isn't
as
that
10
just such a lovely photo? I feel like it's hilarious to me that we still show this like lovely, here, come eat Thanksgiving with us. And like well, that's how Thanksgiving started. Like, here, come eat with us. We're all going to gather together. Not quite the same as history actually was. But I like that we continue to perpetuate this.
million natives living in what is today the United States.
Mm-hmm.
But the natives were not concentrated in large urban settlements like the
Right.
civilizations in what is today Mexico and Central and South America.
Right.
If there had been, you can only speculate on what would have happened to them. There are some exceptions, though.
Scary.
The oldest continuous settlements in the United States belong to natives and are located in the southwest United States. These settlements were founded around 1100 AD, but they generally have never
Wow.
hosted more than a few thousand people. The largest known native settlement in the United States hosted as many as 18,000 natives. This city, called Cahokia, was located in what is today the state of Illinois, and just minutes from the
interesting.
modern-day city of St. Louis. But Cahokia was abandoned by the year 1350. The 10 largest cities in the
Okay, yes,
United
Antonio,
States,
yeah.
on average,
Seen
were
it.
settled around the early to mid-18th century, while Europe's 10 largest cities
So
are hundreds
beautiful.
and sometimes
Like, the
thousands
difference is just so funny. Oh, it's so
of
funny.
years older. Europe's 10 largest cities
God,
by
I love
population
Paris.
are on average larger than American cities when counting the residents within city limits.
This is another thing I like want to react to someone. I've seen a lot of people that just like hate on Paris so much, especially Americans. They're like, it's lost its like beauty and like its vibe. Everyone says it's so magical, and then you go and you're like, eh. It is magical. If you don't love Paris, like, there's something, to me, there's something genuinely wrong there. I've never visited a European city that I can't find something absolutely spectacular about it. Whether or not it's like the people, the food, the atmosphere, the beauty just is unparalleled. Like, the beauty in Europe is absolutely just gorgeous. It's stunning. I don't care where you are. There's so many places, nature, city, just to explore in Europe. So if you're not finding something that you like, that's a you problem, not a Europe problem.
Out of Europe's
Sorry.
10 largest cities by population, none have less than 2 million people.
Okay.
But in the United States, 6 of its top 10 have less than 2 million
Ooh,
people.
I wonder which cities.
European cities
Ah,
also have
again,
a higher
love it.
population density.
Love London.
Out of Europe's 10 most populated cities, only 3 have a density of less than 10,000 people per square mile.
Wow.
St. Petersburg, Russia, Kiev, Ukraine,
Okay.
and Rome, Italy.
Oh,
The city
interesting.
with the highest density is Paris, with
Makes sense.
53,000 people per square mile, nearly twice as many people as the United States' densest city, New York. with 58,000 people
Wow.
per square mile.
I mean, it does feel like that in Paris, though. Paris is like, it does feel extremely crowded. Not in a bad way necessarily, because like I lived in New York for 4 years and I love that feeling of like kind of being like one among millions or something. I think it's like a fun, lively feeling. But if you hate that feeling, yes, you won't like it. You will not like Paris if you're like, oh, I hate being crowded and feeling like like I'm suffocated or something. You should check out the other parts of France. But I think that Paris is lovely.
Wow. After New York City, it drops off pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
The second most populated city in the U.S.,
Is it LA?
Los Angeles,
Yeah.
has 8,500 people per square mile.
But Los Angeles is huge. Like, it's just sprawling. It's not really like, I know that people like call it a city, but like the downtown is not a city. Like, you cannot get anywhere in Los Angeles without driving. It is crazy spread out. There's just like, it's not a city. Like, I know that it is a city. It is a city. But it's just like, it's so spread out that I don't even know how you can call it call it what it is.
Chicago, 12,000
Chicago's
people
more,
per square mile.
yeah.
Houston, 3,500 people per square mile.
Okay.
And Phoenix, 3,100 people per square mile.
Yes.
The differences in European and U.S. cities' populations and densities are largely due to American suburbs.
Yes.
People are living outside of city limits and in homes instead of multi-story structures. These suburbs initially came about because of the train. They then exploded with the wider use of the car and cheap fuel to power them. Land outside of American cities was also cheap,
Yes.
making homes affordable for the middle class. Chicago is often credited with inventing the suburb. After the fire
Yay.
of 1874, the city banned the construction of wood buildings. So speculators built cheap wooden homes.
I cannot believe that in any point of time that they were building wooden buildings. Like, to me, it's stupid enough that we build wooden homes in the United States, but to build entire buildings out of wood, it's absolutely just maddening to me. I'm like, why? Why would you do that? It's flammable. It actually soaks up moisture, so it causes mold. Like, there's nothing good about it. Like, why would you use it for an entire structure?
Homes as fast as they could, just outside of Chicago, for the 100,000 people that were just left homeless. After World War II, the federal government started guaranteeing loans that required 20% or less for a down payment and loan lengths as long as 30 years. Before this, it was common to have to make a 50% down payment.
Oh, wow.
With loan lengths as short as 5 to 10 years.
Damn.
These new loans increased the amount of people that could purchase a home.
True.
But these loans had more favorable terms for new construction compared to existing housing.
That's
since the government did not want
that's
to
a lot of still today too. Like, you get a lot of deals with new construction
on a house that may have issues. This meant it was easier to get a new home in the suburbs than a property close to the city center, which was typically older.
Yep.
However, African Americans were often discriminated against when it came to these loans, so few were able to move to the suburbs. While mortgage discrimination has improved significantly, the discrimination that occurred from the 40s to the 60s contributed to generational poverty.
Absolutely.
And it has had a lasting impact on the geography of American cities.
Yep.
African Americans are still less likely to be living in the suburbs than whites.
Yeah.
Though the demographics are slowly changing. Today, more African Americans actually live in the suburbs at 39% than within city limits at 36%.
Okay.
The mass exodus in many of these cities, often referred to as white flight, led to severe urban decay.
Jesus.
Residential buildings were abandoned, leading to local businesses shutting their doors due to less customers, which resulted in job losses,
Wow.
which led to poverty and crime, which led to more people leaving.
Wow.
This cycle continues in many cities today, while others have seen an urban revival in the last couple of decades, as many young professionals move back to the city. However, where wealthier people in the United States tend to live in the suburbs, in Europe, wealthier individuals are more likely to live in the city center.
Also true, yes.
Take a look at this map of the London Underground, which shows the average income.
It's so interesting to me too of how they're able to afford these places, because in Budapest, real estate wasn't actually that expensive. I mean, in terms of being a foreigner, in terms of if you are from Hungary and you're trying to buy real estate in Budapest, it's unbelievable. I don't know how anyone affords it with what they're paid. In other countries though, I'm not sure of the pay structure. Obviously they're showing here, so Warren Street, Regent's Park, all of these areas have 155,000 I'm guessing combined incomes. But I'm not really sure. Oh, this is interesting. So it's showing all of the different incomes. Down over in Mansion House, they're doing really well for themselves. Yeah. I don't know. I've always been more in Piccadilly, Regent's Park area, done Camden, King's Cross I've done. That's the area I usually stay over by. So I'm not sure of I haven't seen a lot of these areas. I've done Westminster, obviously, just to visit. But it's interesting how different, the pay disparity is obviously different as well. It's it seems the further outside you're going.
Neighborhoods that use each stop. The highest incomes are at the center of the city.
Yeah.
And the lowest incomes are at the farthest stops.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Speaking of public transportation, Europe's public transportation systems are usually thought of as superior to the
So
United
nice.
States, with a few exceptions.
We have none. Like, we have New York City, and I think Chicago has something small. Boston, I know I did live in Boston as well, like just outside in Cambridge, which is technically like just over a bridge. So we had like a great, I'm not going to say great, it was a good transit system. It more got you to like an area, and then you had to like fend for yourself in the area. Whereas I feel like in Budapest and in other places I've lived in Europe or visited, the transit system is just so well done, and it's also extremely well maintained. That's one thing in New York City. It's like the transit system is amazing, but oh my God, dude, they don't maintain that thing at all. It is disgusting. It's so bad in New York. I love it though. Like New York's one of my all-time favorite cities in the world, but guys, like take care of the rat problem. I don't know. I don't know how, but do it.
Because of the suburbs, U.S. cities are too spread out, and buses and
Yes.
trains can't
Yeah.
stop at every block to pick everyone up. If they did, it would run extremely slow.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to roads, both the United States and Europe have extensive major road networks. But in the United States, large roads often run right through its cities instead of up to them.
True.
While this may make sense in trying to quickly travel from state to state or city to city, it is often criticized for splitting neighborhoods and disrupting local communities.
Yeah.
Another thing that separates European and U.S. cities are the amount of skyscrapers. United States cities generally have more skyscrapers. Out
This
of
is
50
true.
cities in the world with the most skyscrapers, only 2 are in Europe. Moscow, Russia, with 57 skyscrapers, and Frankfurt, Germany, tied for 50.
Oh,
with 17.
that's like interesting to me. I think I went to Frankfurt when I was like really, really, really small. So I don't remember Frankfurt very well. But I know we love our skyscrapers in the United States. I currently live in Bangkok, which has a crazy amount of skyscrapers. And they're like stunning. They're all gorgeous because they're so new. But yeah, the U.S. loves a skyscraper. We're big into that.
The States has 11 cities in the top 50, with the most going to New York City with 287 skyscrapers. When European cities do have skyscrapers, they tend to have a section designated for them,
Yes.
away from their historic city center, like La Défense, a business district which is actually a few miles outside of Paris itself. The skyscraper was first born in the United States in the late 19th century, the first in Chicago and later in New York City. The United States took pride in their large structures.
I think that they're gorgeous if your entire city looks like that. But I think in places like Paris and like Edinburgh and like London even, like that has a few, but they're like very few and far between. I think that they would ruin the overall aesthetic. Like in Europe, it's such a beautiful, like the buildings themselves are so gorgeous, and it's like they're almost like set. The way that they're set is like very stunning. Like when you look over something, it looks like it was like deliberately planned to look like that. It's very beautiful. Whereas like in the US, it's just like building, 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 building. How many offices can we fit in? Especially now. I think that back in the day, they were a lot more beautiful, like the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building and all of these like beautiful, like the Plaza is one of the most gorgeous buildings. So like these buildings were stunning. I think that now we're just like another glass building, basically.
Seeing them as a symbol of their prosperity and power.
Mm-hmm.
Europe, on the other hand, already had established historic buildings and public spaces that left little room for large new structures. They were also resistant to what could be considered American. After the destruction of European cities in the Second World War, Europe had the chance to build whatever they wanted.
They didn't. They still went to it.
Around the car,
oh my God.
To.
That is crazy to me. Like seeing how destroyed it actually was. Like I haven't seen it in so long. Like I've seen pictures obviously and everything. And a lot of Budapest actually, they never really like restored a lot of their buildings. They weren't bombed out. I don't think they were bombed out in quite the same way that like Berlin and things were, or London. But yeah, their buildings are a lot of like, they still look quite destroyed in some areas. So it's like really interesting to me to see these, because that's crazy that it looked like this and now it's like spectacular.
And now have room to build skyscrapers. but Europe chose not to.
Yeah, good on them.
Europe had an overwhelming desire to build their cities back to the way they were
Yes.
before the war and to preserve their unique cultures and way of life. The city of Brussels
Oh, it's
also
so
played a role in
stunning.
the rest of Europe protecting its urban landscape.
Yes.
The city of Brussels had a laissez-faire approach to urban planning in the 1960s to the 1980s. Structures that were often generic and didn't fit in with Brussels' historic city landscape were put all over the city. The rest of Europe took notice and became concerned a similar randomness of structures could be placed all over their respective cities. Zoning laws that protected Europe's historic districts and structures.
Yeah, so like even like these buildings like this, like as I said, like London has a few like skyscrapers, but this what like this tower that's like pointed is such an interesting looking building. There's like that one that's like circular going, like it has like that rounded thing going up. Such an interesting looking building. Like they add to the skyscraper, whereas I feel like they add to the skyline, whereas I feel like in the United States most buildings, especially now, are just like building big. Like how many offices can we fit? Like I don't care if it looks good, put it up. Where it's like it's sad because it like ruins skylines sometimes.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for other geography topics.
I liked it. I thought he did like a good job of like explaining a lot of it. I was expecting more of like a comparison. This was very factual though. So I learned a lot about like why these cities are the way that they are. Anyways, I really like this video. If you want to check out more of my videos, please maybe think about heading over onto my channel and seeing some of my videos. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and maybe think of subscribing because I would love for you to join my community. Anyways, bye-bye. Thank you.